Hey, what is really going on with the Luka Doncic trade? So the NFL and the NBA have major storylines going on that question the integrity, the legitimacy. Like, does competition really matter? This is what's going on with our two highest profile sports in America, men sports. And on the other side, and this is the argument I was making to my friend and I've been making on this show, and I really hadn't given it full thought until last night because I'm a hardcore Indiana Fever fan and I'm trying to kick the habit. Caitlin Clark has irritated me with her woke stuff, but I can't kick the habit. They've built a super team. They're going to make it to the WNBA finals and probably win, at least on paper. The team they've put together with the coach, it looks amazing. But my buddy pointed out something that I'm just be honest with you, I was asleep to. He's like, hey man, the Las Vegas Aces, they're definitely making the NBA finals. They got Jewel Lloyd. And I go, they got Jewel Lloyd? I didn't know that. That didn't come. And again, I'm asleep at the wheel because again, I'm a Fever fan, but it's just, I knew that Kelsey Plum got traded, but I guess I just hadn't paid attention to who she got traded for. She got traded for a much better player, someone 2 to 3 inches taller, more athletic, a perennial all-star, Jewel Lloyd from the Seattle Storm. Perennial all-star. And so they got Jewel Lloyd, they got Chelsea Gray, they got Jackie Young. That's 3 people in their backcourt. I think that all 3 were all-stars last year. And of course, they have Asia Wilson. And so my friend's point is the WNBA has manipulated their offseason in a way so that they actually have a Boston Celtics, Larry Bird, Los Angeles Lakers, Magic Johnson rivalry in the WNBA. You're going to have Asia Wilson, who's arguably the best player in the WNBA, and she represents that woke, Yas Queen, why aren't I being worshipped enough? Angry black woman. And then on the other side, you're going to have Caitlin Clark and the exciting whites. And I know, hey, we're just days away from the Super Bowl, and you guys don't want, why are you talking about the WNBA? Why are you even thinking about it? I don't want to do it. I want football. Let me hear more about officiating in football. But I'm telling you what's coming. This WNBA, whether you like it or not, and whether you like the fact that Caitlin Clark bent the knee, the WNBA has created the magical storyline. The storyline that has worked all throughout television history. They got conflict between, they've created it, and I know there are black players on the Indiana Fever, but they've created conflict between black and white. And now they have 2 super teams. Now they have Larry Bird's Boston Celtics that had Bird and some exciting whites and Robert Parrish and Dennis Johnson. That's what you have over with the Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark is a superstar. Now she's got some running mates with Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hall. And now that she's got the key low post players that will carry her and allow her to be the full-blown Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark will end up in the MVP conversation in a very serious, I think she, if not for racial idolatry, I would predict she'll be the NBA MVP this year. They've put the perfect team, in my opinion, around Caitlin Clark. And you're going to have this racial conflict, the exciting whites, the angry blacks. The television ratings are going to be massive. And we're right at the very beginning of women's sports here in America being more compelling than men's sports. And I know Steve Kim's going to come on and call me crazy, and he's not going to do it. He's not going to watch, blah, blah. He doesn't understand what's about to happen. And again, he'll be, I'm not watching it, I don't care, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be unavoidable. It's so compelling. And there's a lot, what's missing in the NBA and to some degree in the NFL with all this jersey swapping and we're all best friends and we're all working behind the scenes to play on each other's teams. But this is going to be legitimate competition with legitimate anger and animus and dislike of each other. It's because the WNBA and Nike and the powers that be, they're looking for a fight. They're looking for conflict because they know that's going to just elevate the women's game and women's athletes even more. People are about to choose sides in a real way as it relates to A'ja Wilson and Caitlin Clark, the Las Vegas Aces and the Indiana Fever. The New York Liberty are sitting out there. They got a good team. They just won the championship. They got Breanna Stewart. They got Sabrina Ionescu. They got I don't know why I can't think of the center's name, but she's a really good player, can hit threes. They got a great team in the New York Liberty, but I don't think they're going to be the factor that they were. They got lucky and won the championship this year. And you got the Minnesota Lynx out there, that angry group of women that will be good. But this league is now about A'ja Wilson and Caitlin Clark. It's about the exciting whites and the angry blacks. And this clash is going to elevate women's sports to an unprecedented level. People think you enjoyed watching Serena Williams, and you did. You really have lied to yourself and think that Simone Biles, that you watch her once every 4 years and you think that's a big deal. It's not. It's a once every 4 years Olympics deal. No one even knows what's going on in gymnastics. Everybody understands basketball. Everybody understands basketball. Virtually every boy or girl in America picks up a basketball at some point and shoots it at a hoop. Everybody understands. It's not that complicated. It's not football. You don't need to be rich like you do tennis or golf. Everybody understands basketball, and everybody understands that there is a conflict between black women and white women. And it's going to play out on a basketball court. And the Yas Queens versus the suburban white girls is going to be the biggest story in sports. And it's going, it may be 20 years from now. People are going to point to what they've created here in the WNBA and what the WNBA, and what they've allowed to happen in the NFL and in the NBA, and questions and conversation about the credibility of those leagues. And they're going to say, man, that was an inflection point. That was the beginning of women in America becoming the biggest stars in sports. It's happening.
Like what you saw? Hit that like button, subscribe, and check out the full episode by clicking the link below.